Hi there. If you're in the process of adjusting your status through marriage, one of the first big questions you might be facing is, should I change my name? And if so, how and when? It's a small detail with a huge impact because it affects everything from your forms to your travel documents.
In this video, we're going to break down the name change process step by step to help you avoid common mistakes and streamline your journey. Plus, we'll give you some tips on handling your documents if your passport and green card end up with different names. This can get tricky, especially when it comes to traveling.
And if you're gathering documents for your application, don't miss our new bona fide marriage evidence list. It's packed with examples of what USCIS looks for in genuine marriage case, and it's available for you in the description below.
Now let's dive in. Step 1. We need to understand the difference between a marriage license and a marriage certificate. The first thing you need to know is that each state handles the name change process a little differently. So let's start with your marriage license and marriage certificate, since that's where this all begins.
A marriage license is the document that gives you permission to get married. In some states, when you apply for your marriage license, you will have an option to indicate that you want to change your last name. If that's the case in your state, you can choose your new last name right on the marriage license.
Now, once you're married, your marriage certificate is the official document that proves you're legally married. Some states let you choose your new last name on the certificate, while others only list your current legal name.
If your certificate does not have an option to indicate a new last name, do not worry. You can still choose to use your married name on your USCIS forms, even if your marriage certificate only shows your maiden name. The certificate itself is proof of your name change, which is what the USCIS cares about.
Now to step 2, using your new name on the USCIS forms. One of the biggest misconceptions we see is that couples think that they need to officially change their name on all of their documents first, like their passport or IDs, before they can use their new married name on their USCIS forms. Here's the good news, you don't have to do that.
So, how would you fill out your forms, or what name would you use there? When filling out your USCIS forms, go ahead and put your new married name in the section where it asks for your current legal name. Then, when it asks for other names used, you would list your maiden name or any other names that have ever appeared on your legal paperwork. It's important because sometimes people have a slightly different format of their name used on their birth certificate versus passport, and properly disclosing it helps to avoid any confusion.
So what about IDs? The main issue you might face here is that you don't have an ID in your new married name yet. This can be a bit of a hassle, especially with things like bank accounts, as banks often want to see a government-issued ID with your new name before they'll update your account.
Once you get your work permit, also known as the Employment Authorization Document or EAD, you will have an ID with your new name on it. At this point, you can start updating your name on other documents like your bank accounts and driver's license. The EAD serves as proof of your new legal name until your green card arrives.
I also want to briefly touch on a common mistake couples make. They often want to change their name, but don't know when to do that, so they postpone it until naturalization. Just know that changing your name during naturalization is a challenging process, which can significantly extend your timeline. The easiest way to do it is during the adjustment of status process.
Now to step 3, which is traveling with a different name on your passport and green card. Another question we get a lot is, okay, so what if my green card has my new married name, but my passport still has my maiden name? How can I travel? Here's what you need to know. If your passport is still in your maiden name, but your green card has your married name, you can usually still travel as long as you carry a certified copy of your marriage certificate with you. This shows the connection between your maiden name and your new married name. When booking an airline ticket, however, you should use the name that appears on your passport, which in this case would be your maiden name.
The alternative option is to contact your home country's embassy here in the US and register your marriage with them. They will generally let you apply for a new passport with your married name, though you'll likely have to visit the embassy in person. Every country has different requirements, so be sure to check with your embassy for details.
Now, some final tips on name changes. Don't rush. You don't have to change your name immediately after marriage. Take your time to decide if and when you want to change it. It's strictly your choice. Don't do it because you believe it will look good for the USCIS. In many cultures, it's not customary to do that, so do only what's right for you.
Be consistent. Once you decide on a name, use it consistently across all of your forms and documents to avoid confusion in the future.
Keep your marriage certificate handy. Whether you're traveling, opening a bank account, or updating IDs, having a certified copy of your marriage certificate will be helpful, especially if your passport and green card show different names.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can stay updated on all things marriage immigration. Good luck with your green card journey, and see you next week.